Chapter 6. The Champion of Legacy. The second Paralium is rapidly approaching. This time I've drawn the main event. My performance in the first Paralium was enough to confirm that I was indeed who they thought I was. I had fought like the true echo of Spartacus. This time, Shields takes it upon himself to prep me for the next fight. Since I began at Aurelius, he has become a mentor to me. There is no better person for the role than him. For the first Paralium, he left Bobby in charge of prepping me. This time, he wants to do it himself. "How do you feel about vampires?" Shields asked me. I've never really thought much about them. I guess I'd have to say I'm Team Edward all the way. "Bloody hell, no. What do you know about Dracula?" "The usual, a fictional character created by Bram Stoker in 1897. The book became a cult classic and created an entire vampire fan nation. He based the character on a real person named Vlad the Impaler." Why is he asking me about this, though? Am I missing something? He didn't seem the bloodsucker type. Then it hit me. Don't tell me that's who I'm fighting. Good guess. He tosses an old leather-bound book. "You will be facing Erno, the Bloodborn of Vladimir Tepesh the Impaler." I'm fighting the Bloodborn of Dracula? Vladimir Tepesh III was a prince of Wallachia in the 1500s. Many know him as Dracula. He received that name from his father, who served in the Order of the Dragon. Dragon in Romanian is Dracul, thus Dracula, the son of the dragon. The order was founded at the time of the Crusades. They vowed to defend Christianity and the symbol of the cross from the Ottomans. It was a monarchic order of chivalry, a fellowship of knights. Shield sat me down across from him and explains, Vladimir's infamous reputation rests on the sadistic behavior he exhibited. Battling the Ottomans mainly, he used impalement as a form of torture. Some say Vlad drank the blood of his victims. His cruelty had no bounds, and, if the reports are to be believed, he claimed upwards of 80 to 100,000 victims. Someone eventually assassinated him, ironically by a stake through the heart. You'd think with the bloodlust Erno has he'd be an echo. He's very skilled with the weapon and very eccentric. Erno tries to impale his opponents during a fight and cleans his blade by licking off the blood. He fights with the sword of Vladimir Tepesh. That weapon, the Killage, is a single-edged sword, and it will give you a bad time if he manages to strike you cleanly with it. We need to continue to improve your sword skill. Erno will be gunning for a chance to taste your blood. He's one of Ares' worshippers. They pray to the Greek god of war, Ares, the son of Zeus and Hera. Members of that house are usually very violent. Mars was the Roman equivalent of the Greek god, but unlike Ares, he created the Roman people. Shields and I head into the training room, where we are working for hours. I had been able to get past Balder in the first Paralium with my rudimentary sword abilities, but I wouldn't be able to pull off the same trick twice. I had to unlock more of my connection with Spartacus. The memories came randomly and never often enough. I had become a better fighter after I trained on his memories in the arsenal. Maybe, I told myself, that's the key I'm missing. So, I need to train in the arsenal, perhaps because I'm surrounded by so much history and residual energy tied to the weapons. It makes it easier for Spartacus to come through. Whatever the reason, I know I have to get back there. I tell Shields my plan of training in the arsenal. I wanted to run the idea past him since there are so many valuable items inside. Shields agrees to let me use the room. Just don't break anything. The items in that room are worth more than you. He shows me back down the corridor. The fire of Aurelius is still burning as high and bright as it had been the first time I visited the room. Once we enter, he pauses before the mark to pay his respects to the man the sect is named after. "Doors open or close?" he asks over his shoulder as he leaves me in peace. "Open." "I'll let you get to it then. Lock up on your way out." When he is gone, I take up a position in the middle of the room with my eyes closed, envisioning Spartacus. I try to put myself back in the same time as when I first experienced him. To my surprise, the memories started again just as I hoped they would. Once I am Spartacus, I am ready to begin. This time, he is fighting two people in the arena. I embrace the memory and allow myself to be totally taken over in an otherworldly possession. Totally under the control of memory, my body is moving voluntarily to the site of the past. Though there is no one else in the room, just me being influenced by my origin, I did this as a way to activate my muscle memory, so I would feel the movements and apply them in my training, and in battle. The memory lasts until Spartacus wins the fight. When I come out of the trance, I had another new scar, this time across my forearm. McKenna won't be happy with this. It is still crazy to think that I am so connected to Spartacus that I can physically manifest through genetic memories. 2 hours have passed since I have begun connecting with Spartacus. I'm tremendously fatigued and eager to lie down. I drive back to the apartment where I find McKenna asleep on the couch. The TV is on and her hands are still in a typing position on her laptop. I move the computer out of the way, scoop her into my arms, and carry her to the bed. She must have had a long day because she doesn't even notice me moving her. I pull the covers over her, tuck her in, and go back out to the living room to turn everything off before I go to bed myself. Since the TV is still on, I start to watch it for a few minutes. I like the show that is on. McKenna's laptop is still open, and the screen has woken up since I moved it. The brightness is blinding. As I reach to turn it off, I notice something interesting. A jewelry website open to an engagement ring. I don't know what to think of it at first. Does she want to get married? My heart starts to race, and an overwhelming feeling of happiness comes over me. From the first moment I saw her, it's always been my intention to marry McKenna. I guess I'd gotten so caught up in how perfect we already were together that the thought had slipped my mind. In my eyes, we were already married. It's the first time, at least that I'm aware of, McKenna has ever considered the subject. I know what I'm going to do. I shut the laptop, turn off the TV, and go to bed. As exhausted as I am since the training session ended, a good night's sleep is just what I need. When I get to Shields' class the following day, Bobby is sitting outside waiting for me. Unfortunately, I'm a bit late, which is why I find it strange Bobby's not inside. He canceled today, Bobby says. I wonder what's going on. I have no idea. The man is never late or misses anything, but class is canceled. That means I don't have to sit through another one of his lectures that day. They're often longer than I can bear staying awake for. I don't know, I reply. Let's get out of here. We'll figure it out later. Bobby and I decided to head back through campus. I met your dad the other day, by the way. Really great guy, I say. Thanks. My dad is pretty cool, isn't he? He's great to hang out with, and he's doing a good job getting me ready to join him as co-historian. He says Aurelius would be even better if we worked together. That's great, bro. I'm happy for you. I almost forgot. How did things end up going with Kanae? She hasn't been in class the last couple of days. I haven't seen her. Bobby suddenly stops in his tracks. Right there, he shouts. Right where? What am I supposed to be looking at? Right there, man. There she is. I'm going. Hold my stuff real quick. Just 1 second. Hold my stuff. Bobby hands me his bag and goes after her. Determined to have a conversation with her, but I can tell he is still nervous. He runs a hand through his hair and tucks his shirt in all the way before he reaches her. Bobby taps Kanae on her shoulder, and she turns around. Hey, hi, excuse me? He says awkwardly. Hey, Bobby, how are you? I'm good, just working hard and other stuff. You know how it is. Kanae laughs at his anxious banter. That's good. I haven't seen you in class lately. I miss seeing you for an hour and a half every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 9:30 a.m. Yeah, I know. I was away. Family issues. He isn't as awkward as I expected him to be. He's keeping eye contact, isn't stuttering much, and has kept her engaged in the conversation. So, what kind of stuff do you do? Kanae asks. Well, I work, hang out with my friends, go to parties, just try to keep busy. I don't have anyone, well, like a significant other, a girlfriend. I'm single is what I'm trying to say. It gets lonely sometimes, but I'm waiting for the right one. I don't want to tie myself down until I find her. I know what you mean. I don't have anyone either. Where do you party? I like to go out, but there's nobody for me to go out with. You don't say. What are your plans for tonight? Are you busy? No, I'm free. Would you like to go out with me? My friend over there, his girlfriend, and another couple of our friends, we're all going to Hayes. A mutual friend is hosting a party. Do you know Nico? Not personally, but I know who he is. Good, well, it's his party, and I would love it if you would come join me. Yes, I'd love to go out with you. Pulled out a sheet from a notepad and a pen from the tote bag she's carrying, writes her number down, and tells Bobby to call her later with the details. Tote bag? You must have a lot of things in there, Bobby jokes. Yeah, I have a few personal things. See you tonight, Bobby. He was right. She is classically beautiful. I'm not sure if he told me, but she looks like she is of Asian descent, maybe Japanese. She has long, highlighted brown hair, perfect skin, and her eyes are captivating. Did you see that? He asks, proud of himself for being brave enough to talk to her. Tell me you saw that. What did I tell you, huh? She's a goddess. Yeah, man, so you told Kanae we're all going to Hayes tonight? What happened to discretion? That is an Aurelius club. How do you explain that? No worries, I'll just tell her it's a frat. But did you see her? Screw Legacy. It will be great. Later that night, we were all sitting in VIP, waiting for Bobby and Kanae. McKenna and Juliet don't want to dance until they meet Kanae. They couldn't believe it when I told them about her. They might be more excited for Bobby than he is for himself. Where are they? Juliet demands. She probably stood him up. I know I would if I was her, Link jokes, refusing to believe Bobby could have landed a date with a hot girl. That's mean, McKenna says, defending our late friend. Bobby isn't a bad-looking guy at all, and he's nice. He deserves a great girl. Just then, I spot the two walking hand in hand through the crowd. Bobby's leading her over. He looks happy. I had never seen that expression on his face, so proud to have Kane on his arm. Finally, in our section, Bobby makes the introductions. "Hi everyone," Kane says. "Bobby's told me so much about you." We save them room to sit down. The two join our little party, and we begin to get to know the new addition to our group. Kane seems to fit right in. McKenna and Juliet quickly take a liking to her. Nico takes the microphone and asks the room for quiet. The music stops and silence falls over the crowd. We all look at Nico to see what he's going to say. "Good evening, and welcome to Hayes. Before we start partying the night away, I'd like to take the time to acknowledge a few people in the club tonight. To my brothers in arms, may we continue to find glory and honor. We pray to the gods for another victory in the second proelium. So raise your glasses and drink for the moment, and if you don't have a glass, have one on me. For the Brotherhood, for Aurelius," the room responds. The music comes back on and the party starts again. People are soon dancing and having a good time. McKenna and I dance for a while, and when we begin to get tired, return to the VIP section to sit down. "Look at Bobby and Kane. He looks so happy," she says to me. "What do you think about her?" "I think she's great. She's so nice and funny. Perfect for Bobby. I'm happy for him. She's going to fit him perfectly." McKenna and I leave early. I need to get some rest. The proelium is just 2 days away, and I can't spend my energy before the main event. The days fly by fast, almost as if I had fallen asleep and woken up in the sphere. The arena is packed. There's not an empty seat in the house. The cheering is so loud that the sound resonates through our barracks. Bobby's father comes to speak to me before we leave the dressing area. He has a strange look on his face. "You ready for this fight?" Goodwin asks. "Of course. Erno stands no chance." "Good. Stay on your toes. There's no easy way to put this, son. I've heard rumors that Crassus has offered a large bounty for your death. Over the years, Ares worshippers have often formed alliances with Crassus, so Erno will be gunning for you. He's already a blood-crazed maniac like his origin, but now he has orders for your life." Goodwin looks hard at me. "What I'm saying is fight to win, but don't hesitate to take his life if you have to." "So Crassus wants me dead already. That's fine. He's going to have to do better than sending Dracula's Bloodborn after me. I don't show it, but I am livid. My body grows restless as I wait to enter. If Crassus really wants me gone, I will have to show him just how tough it will be to make that happen." Link goes first, battling the Bloodborn of Spiculus, the gladiator who once gained the admiration of the infamous Emperor Nero. The fight lasts a while. The guy isn't bad, but Link has improved immensely and is determined to win. His opponent could only hold him off for so long. Nico fights second for Aurelius, and, as expected, he wins his match. He doesn't have flair, but he doesn't make mistakes either, and he's strong as an ox and quick on his feet. He's not in it for the praise of the crowd, though they certainly give it when he wins. They have set a good tempo for me. My gear is on, the red strip of McKenna's dress again tied to my hand. The third match has ended, and I am now waiting in the darkness of the empty ramp. The master of ceremonies quiets the crowd. The Ares worshippers deliver a gift in the form of a true warrior. Tonight we are in the presence of a legend and myth. I give to you Erno, the bloodborn of Vladimir Tepish the Impaler, Dracula. A low whisper runs through the crowd. They see him as the bloodborn of Dracula, not of the torturer of many thousands. But the fans believe what they are being sold, so now it's my turn to go out and drive my steel through his heart. When the master of ceremonies begins to speak again, the crowd erupts in excitement, knowing I will appear from the darkness behind the gate. Finally, they compose themselves long enough for the master of ceremonies to announce me. "Ladies and gentlemen, witness a gladiator who needs no introduction. The echo of Spartacus, Luke, the decimator of Baldur. I am all business, marching with my double blades at my side to the center of the arena. I bow my head and raise my sword to acknowledge the crowd. When I peer up, I notice that everyone in the stands has a red ribbon tied around their hands just as I do. They raise those red fists with me as a sign of respect. Erno slightly resembles the depictions of Vlad III. Black hair, a long nose, and dark eyebrows. He has the killage in his left hand and a halberd in the right. I know he will use that long axe to try to drive it through me if he gets the opportunity. There is no talk. We just begin fighting. Erno doesn't attack much with the killage. He is using it more to deflect my advances. The halberd is his primary weapon. The axe gives him the chance to strike a blow from a greater distance. I recognize he doesn't want to get close to me. Every thrust of the halberd is aimed at my head, or he uses the tip to try and impale me. I'm going to have to try to get it out of his hand. My swords serve for close combat, and I am at a disadvantage as long as he holds on to both weapons. Erno lands an unexpected blow to my quad that sent me momentarily to one knee. The pain is searing. It is the first time I've ever taken a strike like that. Erno retreats while I'm still down, enjoying watching me suffer. It's like he's getting off on it. He stares at the blood dripping from the edge of the halberd. His hand is covered in it. "The blood of the echo," he murmurs, raising the bloody hand to his face to examine it more closely. He takes in the scent and then licks it off. "The taste is tremendous," he barks in a hoarse voice. "I enjoy drinking it. Give me more." Erno begins to advance on me. I block the thrust of the halberd this time, sliding backward and sidestepping the return sweep. He moves instinctively with me. I raise the short sword in my left from that near impossible stance with my weight on my right leg and successfully slice his bicep nearly in half. His arm falls, immobile. Erno swings the halberd twice more, not blindly but overcome by pain. There is no technique in his attempts. I avoid each attack and become furious that he had landed the blow to my leg. The pain is hindering my movement. He swings the halberd at my head once more. I deflect the blow, shift quickly, and with lightning speed raise my sword above my shoulder and bring it down with all the weight of my shoulder and leg behind it, severing his hand. Erno shrieks, and the halberd clatters to the sand in an abstract spray of blood. Erno hesitates as he realizes he only has one hand left. I swing my blade at him again and relieve him of the other. Blood pours like water from a faucet as he falls to his knees and begins to pass out. I decide to spare his life, not because I am merciful, but because he has to be a sufferer in my cause, and Lazarus can now see that perhaps his course of action just might unleash an absolute monster. I salute the crowd again by raising my fist. My business is done in the arena tonight. It's time to return to the darkness.